Hello, welcome to this video which updates last week's videos we did on the Japanese yen USD and the Euro USD and gold and a few other pairs. Now last week we discussed the yen and the opportunity there in shorting it, and the dollar soared on the yen. We were long on the breakout of 94. We had a target of 100 and we almost reached it and broke it, and we're coming back a bit now, but that is just to shake out weak speculators, and we'd expect the US dollar to push the yen, back down and breach the 100 level. The actual action by the Bank of Japan has dominated the markets this week. They're printing money like confetti, and it's 60% print of GDP, which is double what the Fed are doing, and it's basically given a lift to all risk assets and risk currencies. You've got stocks soaring, and you've got obviously risk currencies going up as well. The dollar will probably firm up around 98. The yen is trying to fill the gap, but we'd expect the dollar to push it back down. And if we do manage to fill the gap, then just look for it to come back a little bit more and turn higher. The yen is a sell on the dollar, and it's a sell on the crosses. And it was a very simple breakout, that one, to do. Another simple breakout we looked at was gold. Gold got hammered on Friday, broke to the downside. We discussed this last week. There's no reason for anyone to be buying gold at the moment because there's no inflation around. Gold is a traditional inflationary hedge, and it's also a hedge against big dollar weakness, and we're not even seeing that at the moment. The dollar's eased a bit on risk currencies, but there's no dramatic fall. People want yield, they're going to stocks. Gold will continue to go down. We had a great break this week. Gold has been one of the best performing assets, and the bull run took it up 300%. And it's now finished for the time being, and we look to be going a lot lower. And that was another good breakout. One other currency we looked at last week is the euro. The euro obviously got a lift from the Bank of Japan. Everyone seems to have forgotten about Cyprus now. They've forgotten about the political problems in Italy, the recession, and the fact that Draghi was dovish on the economy, and that interest rates will probably be coming down. Euro's strength will be short-lived, though. We're looking for the euro to top out and move lower. Same with the pound. The pound's come up. It's had a big fall, the pound. We're short from back at 162, and we've put in a swing trade down at 153. We're up around 154 now, and I think that it's probably going to top out around here and go lower. Currencies that have really motored have been the commodity currencies: New Zealand dollar, Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar. They've gone up very strongly. This is because investors are seeking yield, but they're going up when commodity prices are falling. And they're detached from the fundamentals now. If you take the Australian dollar, it had a bad unemployment report. That didn't hurt it. Falling commodity prices aren't hurting it. You've got a frenzy of greed, and frenzies of greed always end. And we're up near 106. Well, we went up near 106. It would be very, very hard for the Aussie to sustain strength above that level. And we're looking for the Aussie to top out around current levels. You're going to get Chinese GDP next week, and that'll be a mover for the Aussie. Everyone's expecting it to be good at 8%. So we'll wait and see how good it is. It's always, with Chinese numbers, I'm actually never too sure how accurate they are. Last week on the blog I was saying that in the month of March, China apparently increased exports by 97% to Hong Kong in a month, which doesn't sound right. And it's one of those things where Chinese data needs to be treated with caution, but the market will watch it. See what the GDP print is from China. We were expecting it to be below the consensus. So this week we've had some really big moves. We've got a frenzy of greed going on. Now, there will be corrections coming, and the USD, it's eased a bit on the risk currencies. But if you look at things in perspective, the risk currencies and the euro have all gone up on basically just the Bank of Japan, and that won't sustain them up at current levels. So over the last week, we've had some really good breakouts. We've had some choppy trading as well. Next week, we should see plenty of action. And one of the worrying things in the global economy at the moment is the printing of money. And, you know, this is just feeding an asset bubble. And at some point this year, that is going to all end in tears. We're going to see a correction, I think, next week, but there's a bigger correction coming. And Eurozone is stumbling towards, you know, having to do another bailout. It could be Slovenia, it could be Italy, it could be Spain. And there isn't the money to bail out a big nation which falls into difficulties. Furthermore, the Cyprus bailout has shown that they've got no problem taking money from bank depositors. So any country that seeks a bailout will see bank depositors do runs on the banks, and that will be disastrous. At some point this year, we're going to see the biggest financial crisis since the 30s. But for now, just use the charts to time entry, keep it nice and simple, and go for the big trends. We've had a few this week, and we should get a few next week. Thank you for watching me. Take care and have a good day.